Oh, it was a bad season or something that I brought this evil into my house. I did not know that this was a barren land. My son had got so many offers, girls of high standards. I left them all and made this one as the daughter in law. 5 years have passed. She did not even give birth to one child. My mother in law kept saying, listening to those sarcastic words, I used to get hurt badly from inside. This is not the first time. Since the second year of marriage, I have been hearing such harsh and insulting words. My father in law had died long ago. There was no one else in the house except mother in law and Suresh. Mother in law urgently needed a grandson. Anyway, I had to give her a grandchild. I had been examined by a gynecologist twice. I was proved to be healthy in every way. I convinced Suresh and took him also to that doctor. There was a report that there was nothing wrong with him either. The doctor himself guided us. This is very common nowadays. You don't need to worry for any reason. May that natural process sprout in you as soon as possible. He also wished. Both of us understood the doctor's words. But who will tell our mother in law to understand? Every day her crookedness was glaring at me. I was guilty in her eyes. Even recently, she started going around openly saying that if she wants to grow her family, she will make her son divorce me and get another daughter in law. I used to get dizzy due to such rants. Sometimes Suresh used to console me. Don't spoil your peace of mind by listening to mother's words. She has that habit. Don't worry. You will be in the office all day. It has become my job to listen to her taunts. Recently, she has been talking about divorcing both of us and remarrying you. Rashmi, don't worry. I will not give you divorce. I have no idea of another marriage because I believe that you are not lacking in anything. Once a Baba came to our town. It was also said that if the bhasma given by him is mixed with milk and drunk, couples with no children are guaranteed to have children. I had little hope in such things. But our mother in law blindly believes such news. Because of her, I had to go to see that Baba. That Baba must be around 30-35 years old. He was very stubborn. My mother in law touched his feet and bowed, making eye contact, and asked me to bow too. He placed his hands on my head and blessed me. The way he clasped his hands on the head in the pretense of blessing made me realize that he was a hypocrite and a sly man. He asked my mother in law why she had come so far. The same way, the mother in law told him about her problem, after which that Baba started staring at me lustfully. Carefully observing my whole body, your daughter in law has got a female demon. That's why she is also not able to have children. She cannot have children until the demon leaves her. Durga Puja is the only solution for this, he said. How to do Durga Puja, Baba? Mother-in-law asked with enthusiasm. Durga Puja should be done at any cost. After performing the puja, I will give the enchanted basma to your daughter-in-law. It is given only on every Amavasya or new moon. At night 12 o'clock that night, a glass of milk should be brought. Mix bhasma in that milk and drink it in front of me. Only by doing this can you get rid of that demon. Baba, how much should I have to spend for all this? It's not much, it's only 7 to 8,000. Then our mother-in-law looked at me. She looked at me and her face was only asking me this question. Can you arrange this much of money? I changed my direction of looking and looked at Baba and asked Baba, Baba, what is the guarantee that a child will be born from the bhasma you give? When I asked, that Baba's face got frowned. He angrily said, Look, I am not running a grocery store to give a guarantee on the purchased goods. I am an ascetic monk, quite accomplished. If you want the fortune of children, do as I say, otherwise, you can leave. My mother-in-law, who saw Baba's angry side, started teasing me. She looked at me with red eyes and said in a soothing voice to Baba, Sorry, Baba, she is also young. She has no knowledge of the world. She knows nothing about you. Baba, tell me when to do the puja. Amavasya was falling in next 3 days. Our mother-in-law arranged for money somehow and got engrossed in the preparation of the puja as if it was not necessary for me to participate in that puja. That night only I had to take a glass of milk and go to that Baba. I knew very well what was the intention of that Baba. So, when I left in the middle of the night, I kept a fat stick with me and went to Baba. He was intoxicated when I reached the ashram in the middle of the night. His mouth smelled of alcohol. Seeing me, he asked me to move in the neighboring cottage. I absolutely refused to go inside the cottage. So he got angry and said, Do you want the fortune of children or not? It is better to be like this than to be blessed with children after losing chastity from you, I firmly replied. Why are you talking so much? I am no less. I had a premonition of this disaster. Immediately taking out the fat stick from the bag and pointing at him said, I know the story of Babas like you better than anyone. I had to come this far to console my mother-in-law. I don't need any bhasma or other things. I don't even have any female ghouls. You should tell our mother-in-law that I drank your bhasma mixed with milk. Otherwise, I will lodge a police complaint against you. Baba, who was shaking with fear, shook his head as if, Then I dropped the glass of milk there and walked towards the house. After few months, I started vomiting. When the mother-in-law came to know about this, there was joy. When Suresh got to know this news, he was also happy. I also felt relieved to see Suresh happy that night. Now, mother in law started sleeping with me. She used to warn me that if I slept with my legs untidy during the night, I should clean it immediately. And if I slept in the attic, the child would be born with disabilities. When I see my mother in law, I feel like loving her beyond measure. But it feels sorry to see her false beliefs. One day, the mother in law brought a coconut and said that if you break it in front of God with one blow, the child born to you will have a lump on its cheek and it will look attractive. I was sure that all this was her stupidity. However, for the sole reason that she should not be hurt, I broke coconut with one blow without rejecting her words. But the palm was pierced by a coconut shell and started bleeding. But mother in law did not pay attention to the injury. With joy, she became absorbed in the worship of Lord Ganesha. Suresh came back from office in the evening and was shocked to see a bandage on my hand. What is it? How did it happen? When asked, I inevitably had to reveal everything. Then Suresh said, Look, Rashmi, you know very well how mother's nature is. She insists that what she wants should happen. Lately, her superstitions have been rampant. That is why she is behaving like this. If you keep your mouth shut like this, something more or less will happen. Be careful, he said. What Suresh said is also true. As my womb grew, my mother in law's blind beliefs also started to increase. Sometimes she didn't even let me turn to the place where the three roads meet on the way down. So I had to travel around the roads. Too much running was tiring. But my mother in law, buried deep in superstitions, did not pay any attention to my fatigue. When I was 8 months carrying, I was restricted from even stepping out of the house. Also, I was not allowed to go to the village for any reason. She had ordered that the scene of unity of a girl and a man in TV should not be seen. As the days of delivery were approaching, mother in law went to Baba and asked me to drink the bhasma she had given me in milk. When asked why, she said that if you drink this, a boy will be born. When I saw the mother in law's superstition, I felt worse again. I refused to drink milk and said, Mother, I am ready to do whatever you say, but I can't drink only this milk. I said, Why? The mother in law frowned. If there is any adverse effect on the health of the child born from it. Hey, did you forget so soon that you got pregnant from this bhasma? I did not agree to drink milk mixed with bhasma. A few days later, on the day of delivery, My mother in law came to me and said, Rashmi, look, you are going to have a baby boy. I asked her in amazement, You are so sure. How did you know? You refused to drink milk mixed with the bhasma given by Baba that day. So I myself mixed that bhasma with your meal and gave it to you every day, she said. I was shocked to hear this. Before I could respond, my eyes felt dark. Gradually, everything became silent and I felt unconscious. It was only after I regained consciousness that I realized that I had given birth to a dead baby. The child died in the womb due to the fact that Baba had mixed medicine in Bhasma to get rid of his hatred towards me. Finally, realizing the truth, mother in law came to both of us repentantly and said, Rashmi, this disaster happened because of me. In my longing to see my grandson, I sacrificed your children to superstitions. I am ready to suffer whatever punishment you give for this tragedy. I will suffer. She started crying. Can I punish the mother in law? I said. At the very least, put an end to your superstitions. She agreed. In the days that followed, there was no trace of superstition left in her. A year later, I got pregnant again. This time, cute twins were born. My mother in law was crazy with happiness. She encouraged all the people of the town to come out of their blind faith.